Winter is coming.
Winter is here. Winter is here. So welcome back to Cafe for Nerds with
Hello.
Lucy.
Jamie.
Brilliant.
You can hopefully know our names by now.
After our 2 videos. But we've done 2 Marvel videos, so we thought we'd expand.
Yeah, and go to another love of ours.
Game of Thrones.
If you hadn't guessed.
And we watched the Battle of Winterfell.
Yeah, we stayed up till 2.
This week. We stayed up to 2 because they air it in obviously in the UK.
Yeah.
In the US first. We
Sky
stayed up.
Atlantic.
It was meant to be the longest running episode ever for Game of Thrones.
82 minutes.
84 minutes. And biggest battle in TV and film history.
Yeah, longest battle scene.
Longest. I'd say biggest as well, but... so, we are back with some wine.
Rosé, actually.
Rosé and Longclaw. Which you own, which is slightly worrying to me, that you own a sword. So we're here just to review the episodes and say how we thought.
Stuck in the ground.
Because obviously there were 2 episodes before which were mainly leading up to the
Battle
Battle
of Winterfell. Yeah, they were
of
introductory episodes, weren't they? They were kind of getting us back to where everyone is, what they're all up to.
And obviously there's only 2 really big locations right now, Winterfell and King's Landing, and we had a few scenes of King's Landing before. But
it's quite strange that this TV show that's been so world building is kind of in the final season narrowed it down to these kind of 2 locations. But it's good because I think we know what's happened in all those places.
Well, it's a circular show. George R. R. Martin wrote the books and Dan and Dave have produced the show so that after season 1 all the characters spread out and they all had their own storylines and they went off doing their own thing, and now they're all coming back together, the ones who are alive, and it's basically 2 sides to it now.
The few that are still left.
The few that are still left, and I doubt it's going to be this many for that much longer. Yeah, so this episode was entirely in Winterfell, which we hadn't had this since the first season, the first episode.
This was, entirely Winterfell. It's the first episode we've had without Cersei. So
you can just imagine
really
what she's doing, sat in King's Landing,
just sipping wine.
loving it. Well, she's quite ecstatic that the White Walker army turned up to Winterfell, because she's thinking they'll just, she said, wipe everyone out for her, and then they'll just hide away in King's Landing. But we know now that obviously that's not going to happen, and we are going to have this fight, which we knew we were going to have.
Well, I mean, she still kind of got what she wanted, because Winterfell is sort of decimated now.
And their army is
almost non-existent.
I think all the Dothraki are practically
you can guarantee the Dothraki are
most of the Unsullied are dead. I really thought Grey Worm was going to die. There was a section when he was looking at the barricade and there wasn't lighting, because obviously Dany couldn't see Davos waving, saying the dragon needs to light it now, and I was thinking, he's going to sacrifice himself. But obviously then Melisandre turned up.
I thought, you think he'll sacrifice himself because it kind of fits with his character, but actually this was much more interesting to see, because he's devoted to his men, and he kind of had to,
and even to Daenerys,
he had to sacrifice all these men that he's kind of fought and killed side by side with.
Well, do you remember they chose him as their leader? Do you remember when Daenerys took over them and she said, I want you to pick a leader, and they picked Grey Worm?
And I think that would be really interesting, because I think in the next episode hopefully we'll see his kind of maybe regret and guilt about sacrificing all his men.
But I think my highlight of this episode was Arya. I think
everyone.
And I think a lot of people at first were a bit surprised that, and maybe they felt a bit cheated that Jon wasn't the one to kill the Night King, because they've had that relationship. But
Dan and Dave came out and said this has been the plan since I think season 3 to have Arya be the one to give that final blow.
Think about the amount of screen time and development they've put into Arya becoming this
fearsome
warrior, badass, like she is. And actually, it's so predictable if Jon killed him. And actually Arya, and there's a scene when we think Jon's shouting, screaming at Viserion, who's just obliterating Winterfell, and we think he's shouting at Viserion, but actually I saw something, and I don't know if it's true, but I saw something that actually Jon's shouting go.
Yeah, I've seen this theory as well.
He's shouting go to Arya, because he must have seen her in the background, is saying, I can't get there. She's nimble and swift and quick, and she's out of sight, and she hides in the shadows, she's trained with the faceless men to do that. And he was saying go, and he knows he couldn't do it. He sort of, I think, lost a bit of faith.
I would have liked to see Jon have a bit more involvement. He felt a bit too out of the out of the battle. Considering the Battle of the Bastards, he is literally in the thick of it.
Yeah.
And
but we've seen so much of that Jon already.
yeah, but I think maybe just even a scene where he goes up against a couple of the White Walkers.
Yeah.
Because
we've
seen him do it before.
He's mainly on Rhaegal the whole time.
Yeah, and it would have been nice to see him have a bit more of an impact on the fight. I'm glad he wasn't the one that struck the final blow and ended it, because that would, as like you said, it's too predictable, and I don't think it would have been satisfying, because everyone goes, well, yeah, that knew it was going to happen, and this show is unpredictable, so they did that perfectly. They consistency there, but I kind of wish there was a bit more from him.
What I loved with the Arya scene, because obviously she used the Valyrian cat's paw dagger to kill the Night King, and that dagger was given by Peter Baelish to go and assassinate Bran when he's just been pushed out of the tower, and that cat's paw dagger was meant to kill Bran. Obviously, that's the Catelyn and Summer protected him, and I just loved the sort of the circular area there where actually that was meant to kill Bran, and in the end ended up saving his life. Because Arya had that, and he gave it to Arya knowing that, because he's the Red Raven, knowing that that was her role to play.
It is an amazing scene, that scene where Arya kills the Night King, because it's kind of, the Night King's been this formidable force throughout sort of the last 7 series, really. I mean, the first series was not really so much, but you've never really seen him have a weakness. And there's this split-second shot where she drops the dagger from one hand and catches it in the other, and the way they film it, you see him look down at it, and you kind of get this almost Night King going, oh shit.
Yeah, fuck.
And it's just the first time you see in the whole of Game of Thrones, he has this kind of moment where he's not on top, and he's like, well, fucked it. And
the scene a few scenes before, when Daenerys was on Drogon and she just lets the biggest Dracarys, and she lets the fire rip, and so much fire, and for about 10 seconds, 15, and then you look, and the Night King's standing there,
and he smiles.
He smirks.
He actually smiles back at her.
Face, and you're thinking, fuck, how the hell does he withstand that? Because that's fire's meant to kill.
You kind of think like, okay, so they're kind of all out of options now.
I know. And the deaths in this episode weren't as shocking as I expected.
No, a surprisingly large amount of the main characters survived.
Yeah. Obviously, for me, the hardest hitting one was Jorah, but that was because of the reaction you get from Dany, and even when Drogon comes over her and he's comforting her, and you see her, she's never fought, she has to pick up a sword, and he's there. He was always going to die protecting his queen. He's in love, he loves her as a queen, but he's in love with her, and she knew that. And the realisation, I think she always took him for granted in the sense that she was, he made mistakes, but she was pushing him away, and I think in that moment she realised, actually, you know what, through all of the thick and thin, he's the one person that she's relied on the most, and he's the one person she could truly trust. The amount of slating he's had for being in the friend zone and all that, it's a bit of like a laughing stock. You're thinking, oh, poor man. But actually, his character was amazing, and that was a very good ending to it.
Yeah.
And said that the House of Mormont's dead. You had Lyanna Mormont as well.
That was one of the most badass scenes.
The way she just runs. And oh my god.
I remember I was watching it and I kind of laughed because I thought, she's going to get obliterated, she's just going to stamp on her or whatever, and then
he picks her up,
and then all of a sudden he picks her up and you think, okay, he's going to eat her or something, and then she just does this amazing, like, it comes out of nowhere, stabs him right in the eye, and it's amazing, and
she's screaming, and that ends up
great.
But she said, I think she said in one of the episodes before, Bear Island, House of Mormont, they may be small, but what they lack in numbers, they make up for in like courage, and courage and bravery and passion and devotion, and that was brilliant.
I have to admit though, you think after the Battle of Bastards, obviously the way they got into Winterfell was a giant smashing down the door. Jon was right there. He'd think, maybe we should reinforce this door. The same thing happens again.
Get some people holding the door off.
Maybe just get a metal door. Why didn't they put dragon glass on the door?
Yeah, true.
But before this episode started, I thought, it's going to be just the Battle of the Bastards extended. It's going to be blood and gore. But actually, it was more of a... There was tense. There was real tense moments.
Some of it was like a horror, a bit of a thriller.
Yeah.
The way you're watching it, especially when I was in the library in that scene, and she's creeping around.
That was tense as hell.
And you're on edge, and you're sat there, and it's a little bit like Hitchcocky, and you're sat there on edge thinking, oh my god, if she makes the smallest noise and when she's under the table.
It's one of those scenes where at one point, there's one of the Whites going to see her or find her, especially that bit when she's under the table and you think this is it, and then she's vanished. But you always know this sort of moment's going to happen when they all turn on her, but you don't know when it's going to happen, and it's done amazingly.
No, it was brilliant. And I do think they've saved the best via into King's Landing, because obviously she's a faceless woman, man. She's no one, technically. I know she said she
She's
is
a girl
Arya Stark.
as Arya Stark, but she's got that
she
talent.
has the talent, and I can't wait for her to use it in King's Landing, so we know she will. I don't know whose face she's going to take on, but imagine if she took on, say, Jaime's face.
Yeah, and
Cersei.
I think it might be one step too far to get her to kill the two big bads of the whole TV series. I think maybe don't do that.
No, but I would just say I would love that, because the Vanquath prophecy, Cersei is going to be killed by her little brother. I mean, but this episode, the lighting, that was a big issue, because it was. We watched it here.
It was
with all the lights off. So we just had the screen, and even then, it was a little bit dark. And I know the director said, "Well, I know it wasn't dark because I was there when I filmed it, but that doesn't really count for anything because obviously it goes through stages of editing and everything like that." And I do feel that the best scenes were, say, when the dragons were above the clouds and you had the moon.
There was some really good shots.
Fire, but it was in some places hard to keep up with.
Yeah, there was. I mean, I loved that sort of start of the battle when the Dothraki and Jorah and Ghost run in, and then you start seeing all the torches of their swords just go out
it's such
one
an
by
anticlimax
one,
because you're thinking this is it,
and
then you're waiting for it, and then slowly I think we were both just like no.
Yeah, and I think they did that really well, because again I was expecting to you kind of watch them run in and slicing and cutting, but actually watching all those lights go out was kind of like okay, they really haven't got this on their side.
Exactly.
They really aren't going to win this.
But this is more of a tactical battle. You can't go in all gun phasing like the Dothraki do.
And it's kind of like one of those ones where all the characters in this show, the main ones, they're these great swordsmen, and they've got through these battles because of their skill with a sword. But that counts for nothing against the Whites, because you cut one down, and another one's right there, and they don't stop, and they're not fighting back with swords or anything. Like they get cut, they don't move. It was quite interesting, and I was kind of sitting there, kind of annoyed that everyone at Winterfell went for this battle strategy where I thought it's not going to work, and it didn't.
But then you did see like the ramparts, so the defences around Winterfell. They were armed. They had these spikes. They had traps that flicked up, so they could all get behind the ramparts and they could protect themselves. But the Whites don't have pain. They don't feel pain. They don't feel emotion. They would just sacrifice themselves. Creating a bridge, human bridge.
I was going to say human body of a bridge, but it's not human bodies. But yeah, you see this kind of.
And that made you think, oh fuck.
Yeah, there's really.
And all you felt, you realised the characters felt that the Hound, even Sam, these characters who were frozen and didn't know what to do.
Yeah, the Hound, especially, you get from Sam, you've seen it before, but the Hound is kind of this no shits given character who just goes and kills and doesn't stop, and then you see it. You see this moment where he can't do anything. He just knows there's no point.
He basically just said fuck this. But I thought it would have been the fire that would have faced him. But he's gone past that now. He's not scared of this fire.
Now it was real. Just
so it wasn't even that. I could understand if he saw the fire and Melisandre was like, no, this is too much for me. But it wasn't that. It was just he knew that. He was outnumbered.
And I think if you were in that situation, you would be the same. You would be like, what is the point?
Exactly.
Every time I kill one of them, there's 10 more.
And even the ones, your fellow comrades, like the ones, people you're fighting with, once they're dead, they can be raised up.
That was a truly kind of heartbreaking moment where they've kind of killed all of them in Winterfell. They finally get some relief, and then the Night King raises them all back up, and you just kind of think, for fuck's sake, can they get a break?
That's when Jon's there, and he raises them, and we're looking around, I'm going, Jon's fucked, and then Daenerys flies under Drogon, and that's the scene when obviously she then says to Jon, go, run, you need to go and help Bran. And then Drogon gets taken out and he flies off without Daenerys. Because obviously he's getting stabbed, attacked, he's just
I really thought he was going to go down then.
It's fight or flight.
Yeah.
And he just went away, and you can't really blame him to be honest. But Daenerys then has to pick up the sword.
Another moment I really loved was Theon. And he really, I didn't think Theon would last very long. But
I didn't think he'd die.
I put money on he would die.
I knew as soon as he was the last.
But even that scene where he
he
must have taken out 20 plus of the Whites, and he kept going, and he was doing his all, and that kind of line from Bran, even though most lines from Bran in this season have been kind of just weird, But this one line when he says, like, "You are a good man, thank
Because he
you,"
knew he was going to die.
and it's so touching because Theon, the reason he went to Winterfell was to get some redemption, and he felt he'd wronged, you know, the Stark family so much.
I don't even think it was redemption personally. I think he just felt this massive guilt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he just felt massive guilt after the Battle of Winterfell, and he knew he'd been stabbed the Starks in the back in season 2, and he knew he had to not do it for himself, but just to show them actually that he was sorry.
Yeah, and I mean he did have a lot to pay for. I mean that episode in season 2 where he takes over Winterfell and he beheads Sir Roderick. And it's
Bran
a
and
real
Rickon are crying,
it's
and they're
a
saying, "Don't do
massive
this."
turning point for his character because he's been loyal to the Starks. As bitter as he was about it, he has been there for them. And
he admitted that Ned Stark was his father.
you can see he doesn't want to kill Sir Roderick, but he kills, beheads him in such a brutal way.
Yeah,
like he literally is hacking at it. Most of the beheadings we see in Game of Thrones are a quick, swift one and done. He is hacking at his neck.
I think that's to show that actually he's not a soldier. He's not a fighter.
Yeah,
he's
it
not this
wasn't
moral.
clean.
He's not this moral man that everyone can respect.
It showed, it kind of showed. It really was a good metaphor of that. This kind of moment in his life. It's not nice. It is a dark path that he's taking.
But he had a good ending.
And I think he does get that redemption.
Yeah, he does. I mean, that was.
And that is one thing that Game of Thrones does spectacularly. Is this kind of, it flips you on your arse about how you feel about these characters. Like Theon,
so you
Jaime.
start off just not liking these characters sometimes, and then you go to hating them, then you go to feeling sorry for them, and then you go to actually loving them and rooting for them. And I think
I remember watching the first series, and you find out that Jaime and Cersei are getting it on in the tower, and then he pushes Bran out, and you just feel disgusted by Jaime. Like he's just this disgusting character. And then throughout the series, up until now, you're just falling in love with him, and it makes you almost forget that it is incestuous.
I think the scene with Jaime and Brienne fighting together and that relationship, that duo, that partnership is brilliant.
Yeah.
And the respect that he has for Brienne is just heartwarming.
Yeah, and you get that from the episode before, with the whole night scene.
But that was, we didn't see much of them. Also, you just see them all getting outnumbered. They all just, I think each character takes it in turns just to get pummeled to the ground and had to get saved.
Yeah,
it wasn't like one character was running around just destroying these whites.
Another shocking moment for me in this, I don't know if this was always going to be the case, but Melisandre showing up at Winterfell, I didn't think that was going to happen. I mean, I forgot where this character was actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
And she shows up and she plays quite a vital part.
She does, but you see her.
She does quite a few big acts.
And everyone was like, "Thank Melisandre for lighting up the Dothraki."
Yeah, she lights the Dothraki
because then we could actually see what was happening.
And she kind of shows everyone her true power. Everyone standing on the walls of Winterfell is like, holy shit.
I think even you see that scene when Sir Davos is looking at her going.
Yeah, he's thinking.
And she said, "You don't need to. I'm going to die by the end of the night."
Yeah.
And he goes, and he's probably thinking, "I'm going to kill you anyway, probably, or whatever." Leads her to it.
Yeah,
and that scene when she's in front of the barricades and she's trying to light them, and you can see the reflection in her eyes of there's nothing there, and you can just hear the whites.
Yeah.
And that scene.
That was another tense moment.
And she's doubting her faith. She's thinking whites, and she's repeating herself, going desperately trying to light these, calling to R'hllor, the Lords of Light. Desperate. And then out just before the lights up, and she's just relieved. But then she knows her job is done.
Yeah, but then not even then. And then she gives the pep talk to Arya, which I think is kind of the moment where Arya thinks, "Yeah, I can do this. I can save them, turn this battle around."
Yeah, the eyes will close. It's brown eyes, green eyes, blue eyes. And that's why everyone's thinking Cersei.
What do we say to the God of Death?
Not today.
Not today. And that is, that's the pep talk of the century.
The Hound is just looking at them two going, "What's going on?"
Yeah, the Hound's kind of like, what the fuck?
He's standing in the background going, "Alright."
Yeah, we've got, just behind this door in front of us is almost an army of whites.
They're having this weird little conversation.
And you're just chatting shit.
And then you see her run off. At the time you're thinking, okay, where's she going?
Yeah.
And obviously now we know she's going straight to Bran, which was brilliant.
It's a fantastic episode. And, because this battle was such a big moment in the Game of Thrones history and everything.
And we got that amazing scene of the dragons fighting, which
Yeah.
Obviously, you get a bit of that in the books, and I've got the Targaryen history book as well, which I've read.
Yeah, you're definitely a lot more knowledgeable
I've read the
on
books twice.
this topic.
So I'm just waiting now. George R. R. Martin release next 2 books, but
yeah, if he ever will, Jesus, taking his time.
but that scene of the dragons fighting, I think it was so cinematic above the clouds. In one section you had the moon lighting up, in another part you had the contrast between the bright orange flame fire and then the blue ice fire. That was just like almost orgasmic to watch. Actually, I would go that far. Like it was so
It
satisfying.
doesn't take much, guys.
It was so satisfying to watch.
But yeah, and yet again another tense scene where the Night King and Viserion are kind of hidden below the clouds, and you don't know when they're going to pop up. It's almost like a Jaws moment.
Yeah.
They've gone beneath, this deep dark blue, and it's like,
You're
where are they going to come out?
forward in your seat to try and see
you're like,
better.
it's purposely made that you can't see it. But you're like,
as if
where
you'll be able to see him if you lean forward.
And you're like, come on, Danny, John, find them, they'll fly away, do something.
And then, Danny, John, and then Rhaegal and Drogon crash into each other in one scene, and you're thinking, they can't see.
Hell, this is going mad.
The Night King brought that storm with him.
Yeah.
Which again,
he really he's OP.
And I love that he's so overpowered. He's so powerful, and yet he was killed by Arya, this girl that everyone underestimated.
Yeah, it really is kind of like a David Goliath, lion and a mouse kind of.
Yeah, because everyone was sort of saying to Arya, you might have good people.
She's been put down a whole lot. But
she's so modest. She's so modest. I mean, that's something I need to master, because she's not told anyone how skilled she is.
Yeah, God, if you killed one person, you'd be bragging about it.
Not in real life, I wasn't, Jamie. I wouldn't be. The thing is, she's crazy quick and powerful. You saw that fight with Brienne last season.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah. That sort of Brienne was
Brienne
like.
knows, but there's so many cats like Gendry's as well.
Yeah, and
he's like, nah,
Yeah, and then
don't put yourself in there. And Arya's just like doesn't need to tell him. She just gets her bow out. She's like firing these arrows, and I think everyone knows, just stay out of her way. She'll do her own thing, because we always know Arya's not going to listen to anyone anyway. She'll do whatever she wants, and now she's got that respect. She can say.
Role model to young girls around the world.
And that moment with Sansa and Tyrion in the crypts, where they're behind one of the crypts together, statues, and they're both sat there thinking, we can't hide. I know they said they were down there for a reason, because they weren't going to get in the way and they couldn't protect themselves, but they actually realised then and there they couldn't just hide. They had to go and find a way out. And that moment when she said,
that was the one moment in the whole episode that you kind of knew was going to happen, that they're kind of dead in the crypt. They're walking into a trap. The amount of times they said the crypt is the safest place, you just knew it's not.
Exactly. In the moment where she says, to Tyrion, you're the best of them. Because obviously they were married, and you forget they were married for a point. And
I actually forgot that.
Well, the marriage wasn't consummated, so it wasn't. They weren't technically married because they didn't have sex. But she said you're the best of them, and
didn't have sex.
They didn't have sex, which. If you don't know what that means, Google it, because I'm not explaining it here.
S-E-X.
We're not explaining it, Jamie. But I think overall, we don't want to. There's not too much to dwell on this episode, because it was purely. It was tying up the Night King, and that's done now. And maybe
we can now get kind of closure to the rest of the storylines that are going on in Game of Thrones, I feel. And I do think there is a lot more to be said and done by Cersei.
Which we'll see in the next episode. So we'll do videos for those as well. And we'll have Longclaw back for these episodes as well. But
he won't leave.
The one thing I expected that didn't happen was Azor Ahai. I did not think personally that Jon was gonna stab the sword into Daenerys' heart and then kill the Night King. I didn't think that was gonna happen. But there was so much in the books, and even spoilers in theories. There's so much talk around this prophecy.
Yeah, there's a lot of theories about this.
And even in the whole of the series, there's been so many mentions of Azor Ahai, so many, and it didn't happen. But that's fine, because they can't fit everything in. There's so much content. And they've only got a limited amount of time, so they've done that. I think we knew this anyway, but they do. Obviously, Jon's Aegon Targaryen.
Yeah.
They can't do that, and Azor Ahai, so I'm happy that that's been left. And to be fair, that would have overcomplicated things massively. We've taken a lot of screen time, and we've shifted the whole dynamic of the episode a lot. So
yeah.
I don't even think.
I'm actually really interested to see where that goes now with Dany and Jon's relationship.
But we'll talk about that more, because that wasn't spoken about in this episode, really.
Yeah, obviously,
they had to
backseat some kind of plots there, just to focus on such a.
But I love how now Jon
scene.
and Rhaegal they've bonded. That's his dragon.
Yeah,
really. It's obviously it's Daenerys' baby, but She's never risen him. John now
John has risen
just jumped
him.
straight on it, and obviously we know he may have got a little bit injured, but he's still alive. So yeah, so that's all. I think that's us basically just quick summary
Just our quick
of the episode.
sort of summary and review of it.
We wanted to just do a little quick snippet of the episode
Yeah.
because you can't do long reviews for each of them. So that is our little summary of the Battle of Winterfell, which we think was an amazing episode.
And I think even bigger things to come.
There's not too much to analyse about it. It's a battle. It's
I'm sure there are much better videos on analysis.
You can't really read
show.
into it, to be honest, too much. But I reckon the next few episodes will
but
get a lot more
a fantastic
dialogue.
episode and a real sort of game changer for me.
It didn't feel like a long episode particularly.
No, it went by in no time.
And that's because that's the magic of it. You get so captivated by it, it flies by. But
I know, the longest episode in Game of Thrones history, and
tick the box.
Felt just like a normal episode.
It was brilliant. So yeah, that's all summed up. So thank you for coming back and watching this. So you could be a Marvel fan and you're watching this as well, but this channel is going to be cover so different subjects.
It's for everything we love and hopefully everything other people love.
Anything expressive, imaginative.
Yeah.
Anything just nerdy, basically, because we are Cafe for Nerds. And we have our, not Prosecco this time, is it?
Rosé today. Yeah, we switched it up.
So we've been drinking this.
We'll be on to the second bottle in no time.
But thank you for coming back. So we will see you soon probably. We'll do another, we're going to do another video.
Yeah, like I say, we promised in our last episode, we promised Iron Man Trilogy, which we will do.
We're working on that right now, but...
Just had a bit of an issue with schedules and finding Iron Man.
Because we're working full time, so...
We're responsible adults.
Thank you for coming back.
Thank you.
Hopefully we still fall out, but yeah. See you soon.